afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane. We're off here to an exciting 1 versus 1 right here on Holotny Felma. On the one left side, we shall be watching here Miragefla fighting for Germany. For the Großdeutschland Panzerdivision going up here versus Vipuks fighting for the Soviet Union. And the 5th mechanized corps rolling ahead here to smash through German lines. But again, a counterattack from the Großdeutschland might derail it all. Noting, by the way, a dual pioneer start here from Miragefla, whereas we're noting here an early support bomb company start from Vipuks. There's a bit interesting start there from both sides, and we're also seeing an immediate choice of shock infantry for Vipuks. From Miragefla, we are looking at mechanized Festung armor and mobile defense for Doctons, so a bit of a mix there for him. Question is, of course, what will he go for? Grenadiers arriving, but obviously Miragefla is initially hoping to sort of grab a lot more territory than his opponent, at least sort of stays somewhat equal. Whereas it seems like Vipuks has some plan that it quickly involves getting some support weapons on the field, likely Maxims and mortars, to pressure Miragefla early on. So some very sort of interesting openings and some interesting thoughts, though of course I'm merely guessing. I mean, obviously both players might be able to provide a bit better knowledge on that if they were to watch this video and decide, they explain. But a bit of early barbed wire up there from Miragefla, sort of denied cover to his Bolshevik opponent.
Soldiers ready. You need something built?
Both sides slowly advancing. Third country squad on the way, so a bit interesting. I mean, he went for an early support weapon company here, but so far he's not making any use of it. So a bit interesting there, Points being secured left and right. We got the MD-42 arriving from Miragefla. And countries that are being engaged quickly force back. They're going to take up position inside that old church. Forces rebuilding, reinforcing. Well, not quite as much yet. We're noting an MD-42 arriving from Miragefla. So 2 pioneers, 1 grenadier, and an MD-42 there. Very interesting again. Miragefla able to seize a lot of territory and afterwards hold it. The MD-42 by the way taking an interesting position there. He must be feeling awfully defensive here. An interesting approach. Nope, seems to be moving on there. Pioneers sneaking up in the north country. They continue to stream in from Vipuks, who's going for early Molotov, sort of try and deal with the ensconced troops there of Miragefla across this map. We're noting that second grenadier squadron arriving. Forces continue to gain the north. The pioneers were swiftly dealt with there. Miragefla was not really able to do much there versus Vipuks troops there with that 1 unit. And before 2 moving to seemingly support the church-held grenadiers there. Church bound. Bit of a risky move there. Might work off, might not. And there you go, sneaking around here. And there you go, Molotovs as well. MD-42 the quick start when the conscripts suppressed there. Pioneers will be moving in from the north again. Miragefla, they're getting a bit aggressive, but at the same time the conscripts take advantage of here to flank the MD-42. Though of course they've already expended their Molotovs. There might be a chance to use the close quarters line in the MD support guns. Also do a bit of damage here to the conscripts alongside the grenadiers. So right here, it does turn quickly against Vipuks here, and now they have to run from the MD-42. Dear, oh dear, we got pioneers moving this over. Looks like they might make it. There we go. Miragefla's not pursuing them quickly with the pioneers. Actually sort of fully cut them down. So right there, counter squad from Vipuks barely gets out of there, but at least it gets out of there. Very sort of interesting opening, and so far it actually looks like he's managed to turn away quite a large part there of Vipuks forces. Maxim is on the way, but he's going straight here for the cut-off point. And now of course the question is, what will Miragefla then do? Also got some engineers sneaking about here, getting behind Miragefla's forces. We're noting that a third grenadier squad arriving. And we're sending an S-minefield going up here as well, right around the cut-off. Miragefla, you sneaky bastard. Or cheeky bastard, however you look at it. But certainly ballsy. Going straight for his opponent's cut-off and mining it. That's definitely gutsy and bold. MD-42 getting suppressed. That might not last long then, as we've got a fresh wave of infantry from Vipuks around here. MD-42 will have to get him. There we go. He does swiftly pull back. In the meanwhile, Miragefla continues to harass. He could lay up another S-minefield around the fuel point. Maxim moving in. Conscripts advancing up through the center. And there you go. Maxim about to deal with that. Have to be careful there. There's no mines around, so they have to be careful around that area. One wrong move and that could easily get very explosive. No mines there though from a Miragefla. You might feel like that might have been pushing it a bit early with all those munitions early on. That is certainly a valid concern there versus the Russians. Pioneers need to get out of there. Mortar on the way.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
So interesting. Mortar there arriving. Grenadiers sneaking up. Conscripts there. And looks like someone snuck into the field there and half the unit went down. Dimitri, I told you, not through the minefield. Oh, I thought you meant not through the pine field. Yeah. But there you go. My Miragefla on the other hand, quick to get some mines, because then in case his opponent goes for mines. So, bit of interesting contrast there. In fact, there's been no mines sweepers here from Vipuks so far. Pioneers though seem to need to sort of retreat and stop harassing the Vipuks' fuel and resources down south. Shock troops are available. We got the Soviet mortar joining in versus Miragefla's troops. We know here by he's gone rather rapidly for the lighting Megas company after that, and in fact got a scout car out. That should certainly further pressure, but we do see Vipuks is already getting prepared for that with the field gun on the way. Oh! An entire Grenadier unit. Nope, that was a Pioneer unit, but still that was pretty grim. Pretty grim. Could easily have been a lot worse, I think, for Miragefla. 82 grenades on the way. Engineers moving north. Miragefla is doing some damage, but at the same time suffering now, and he's also in a bit of trouble there holding on to the map. And there you go, rushing in against a scout cut, quick anti-tank grenade, well done there. Miragefla needs to be careful there with getting his infantry that close when there's a mortar nearby. Trying to get past the MG-42, but that's not quite working out for the Vipuks conscripts, and we now see a mortar around here from Miragefla as well, so both sides are having a bit of light artillery in that regard. Field gun moving up as well. Seemingly still no minesweepers or mines here from Vipuks. Or demo charges, I suppose. Could also work out.
Infantry shooting at us. Engineer squad. Yes, comrade.
Oh dear, just as the mortar rebels take up position here behind the building, the conscripts quickly occupy it. Bad news there for Miragefla. Vipuks continue the pressure. We got the field gun here ready to cover as well. Damn close there, damn close. The field gun took one hell of a hit on the scout car. And we're seeing actually a demo charge up now here around the victory point, and that could easily turn ugly there for Miragefla. One click and the entire unit would go, well, kaboom. Field gun getting off a good hit there on the scout car. Slow approach here. And they're actually trying to catch the scout there with a quick not entirely sure that was the wise idea. In fact, gets caught up around there in front of a lot of German fire from the base. Miragefla seems a bit disappointed in the performance of the 222 scout car. It was noted for being an armoured car for reconnaissance. It had a bit of problems, saying a lot of it because, well, it didn't handle well off-road. It's a little fun fact there. Waiting with the combat engineers. Looks like the Grenadiers will have the upper hand there. Rapidly and solidly. And there we go, combat engineers rushed off the field. Scout come down and repairs. We do see a medic bunker up first before anything happens with that likely punch spay wagon. So far, Vipuks in a nice, comfy position. Struggling here a bit though versus the Northern Force, but also enjoying map control, in particular also victory point control. He's definitely got a nice lead there on Miragefla. Miragefla now though adding in some more heavier troops with the Panzergrenadiere, the Sturmgewehrs. And there you go, looks like the demo charge went off there, wiping out the entire Grenadier squad. Because of the country, they're going down to the Panzerguns. Can they get him? Shoot, Dieter, shoot! Ah, scheiße. What now being secured? And Maxim there actually got cleared out, but apparently has not been recruited by anyone. Though it could be a nice move there for Miragefla, maybe to gain it. Cuts wing in there. Careful, careful, careful. Right there, and he recruits it. He recruits it. The gun could get the conscripts as well. No, only the Maxim went down. Otherwise, that could have been further heavy loss right there for Vipuks. Not only did they lose the max men spent down, but also the entire squad. Mortar crew being pushed off here for the Panzer Grenadiers. And there we go, retreat, getting past through the minefield of the field, going to take further losses. He actually got the mortar crew as well there. He's actually doing quite a good job there clearing out Vipuks' support crews. But over to Miragefla here. Pack on the way. Scout car almost ready to join in the fight again and going for the cut-off point here again. Shifting up the Panzer, it's already with 12 kills to the name in the name of Germany. Yeah. Tankowy battalion command up for the Russians. There'll likely be some tanks there to punish Fritz for being Fritzy. But it would not be a bad idea there for Miragefla to gain maybe that Maxim more. Looks like the Russians already made off with the mortar there, otherwise that could have been a nice gain there in particular. That could have certainly given the extra mortar and thus something a bit more closer, perhaps making a mortar battery.
The bunker has been converted to an emergency medical station.
Bunker up there and he's taking up. Good, good. Falling back here for this quick harassment mission.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Vipuks, he still has some time off if he wants to get a T-34. If he wants to get a T-70, he would get it right now and sort of strike down upon Miragefla if he wanted. But of course, the thing is, he might want to play for the T-34 if it was a bit more durable and a bit more flexible in some longer run. But then again, a T-70 well used early on can actually do a serious amount of damage to the Germans. In particular, someone's got one pack 40. Church there getting blasted by the Granatenwerfer.
Manufacturing capability has been increased.
Coming a bit under fire there from the Soviet mortar.
Attempting to steal our sector.
And there you go, conscript squadron with the Panzers open up. Actively firing. Scout car flanking from the other side here. Making very difficult for the Russians to stay in cover. There we go, Lucy quickly run and try to clear it out. But that only drives them further out into them, making them easier targets for the Germans. So looks like he might have taken the bait there, and though quickly sort of falls back. Northern punch again being secured. Might want to send in the scout cutters with those communists before they lay down maybe also another demo charge. Could be seeing then a support weapon come. Support, yeah, there we go. Support armor caught up from Miragefla. For some reason I keep confusing it with this one. Name-wise, anyways. Pack 40 bit of trouble as the Russians push forward to their maximum covering. This one's still not been recruited. Again. Molotovs, mortar rounds. A lot of pressure there going down. Vipuks still maintaining very solid map dominance. Of course, that could soon change. Although it looks like a tank, in fact, might soon now be on the way here. Although, of course, Miragefla can soon get something as well. In fact, right now he could get a Stugi if he wanted. A flak Panzer soon enough as well, or a Panzer IV. And we do see here in T-35, imagine, there we go, from Vipuks. So a bit of armor there for the Russians. While mortar run continuing to fly across the field, whistling down. Demo charge going down here. Scout cannot really do much, sort of trying to deal with the combat engineers, giving Vipuks a lot of access there to do basically whatever he wants to. Miragefla's territory, and there you go, another demo charge. Another load of TNT. Going to this and some serious threatening there from the T-34. And victory points have not good. There we go! Oh! Oh, he actually sacrificed his own combat years just to get the scout car. I think, well, I suppose Comrade Stalin might have been proud. I'm not entirely sure that the combat engineers appreciate the sentiment though. Comrade, why are you blowing? Ah! Oh, right here looks like Vipuks might get a bit too greedy here with his T-34. And the punishment is swift, prompt, and pack-shaped. So right there he ended up a bit wasting his T-34. He did some damage, but ultimately he got a bit too close there and was not quick enough to sort of pull back. Mortar crew once more in trouble here from the Panzer Grenadier.
Sturmgeschütz is ready for use.
Doing a nice bit of damage there. And a Sturmgeschütz arriving here to support the core starting. Meanwhile, Pioneers up north dealing with the maximum conscripts. Got a rather heavy setback there. Losing his T-34 engineers. I mean, you got the scout car, but you know. Is there not a crew in that Maxim?
We are losing a sector.
Panzer's in a bit of trouble there, stopped by the Maxim and the conscripts. You do get the Sturmgeschütz moving up to support here. That would certainly help turn things a bit around here for the Miragefla in the north, if properly utilised. MG-42 grenades as well. And we've got the Granaten there for shooting in as well, trying to get some of those Russians. Quick route grenade there. Oh, gets a lot of the Maxim crew. Stuki coming in far from the field gun, and that's causing problems. This will get troops pushing up from here where it's not anything covering it. So nice counter attack there from Vipuks, saving up his northern assault. Causing a bit of a headache there from the Miragefla. He suddenly has to shift and deal with this, and ultimately gets pushed off because he can't handle an assault from that many angles, in particular with this Stu being, well, exposed as well. We do see another Panzer gunner unit on the way that might help the Miragefla there a bit in the longer run. Also noting, Vipuks is floating an awful lot of manpower. I mean, he might want to consider maybe, you know, getting a fuel cache with some of it. At least that way, deal with some of that spare manpower. Maybe also up his armoured dreams. Maybe also built towards an ice a bit faster. There you go, second Panzer Grenadier unit arriving. No doctrine, by the way, so far from the Miragefla whatsoever. A bit of an interesting decision there. Miragefla was barely in any territory there, and Vipuks sort of good at making pressure and taking away territory. Another demo charge up from him, and he's really a big fan of those demo charges. Shock troopers out for Vipuks. That should help change things up a bit more in his favour in the closer quarters.
Redouble your efforts. We are down to 200 points.
A fun fact about the German mortar team, they were generally sort of organised into platoons on a more battalion level in a heavy company to sort of support other companies. Little fun fact there. Little fun fact there. Again, the Germans sort of put a bit more focus there on battalion level artillery to sort of support units a bit more without having to again call up higher in the chain, thus always ensuring there was some kind of artillery support. Again, part of the overall stormtrooper doctrine which German infantry focused around. Fun fact, fun fact. But there we go, counter-mortaring the Soviet mortar, so without using the counter-barrage ability. T-34 on a rampage there, up north. Coming kind of quick counter-attack there from the Sturmgeschütz. We got a Panzer IV arriving here from Miragefla, adding a bit more armour to him as well. Interesting enough, there's extremely little to no action in the south. There's not even saying a Pioneer unit running around even trying to harass Vipuks down there, so that's a bit of an interesting decision. There we go. Panzer moving in, Mortify going down, nice hitting on the field gun. That could easily go back again. There we go. Geballte Ladung. Force up north here, engaging as well. Panzer IV and running straight in front of Maxim. I mean, if he'd just taken up here, could probably have outflanked both of them. You can see we then run into the church before that, but oh well. Bit of a botched assault there. And it looks like Vipuks getting ready for a new, fresh move up north. Seeing the conscript of the T-34 is far behind, which is a bit risky with the Stooks still around. And there we go, poor Yuri took the brunt of that one. But shifting it to the centre though to sort of engage there, but there's still the Pat 40. Seems like Vipuks sort of forgot about that. Oh, there we go, smoke grenade down, not bad, not bad. He ensures the T-34 gets away. Very nice there. But of course you also got the Panzer IV ready to counter-attack and deal with those shock troopers, pinned by machine gunners way on top of everything. So in this case, Vipuks was able to salvage his armour. Stuke providing covering fire, Panzer IV moving in. And all the conscripts there retreating.
Panzer IV, ready.
Popping over to Vipuks. Getting more combinations to sort of help speed up the repairs of his tanks. Few manpower wise, he's still floating, but again, a few cats I really think could do a lot for Vipuks right now. If he's really intent on sort of later on getting an IS-2.
Combat engineers are standing by.
Still, Miragefla now enjoying the armor advantage there with his Panzer IV and one assault gun to support it.
Field gun standing by.
Field gun set up.
Awaiting command.
MD4 two moving up grenadiers and Panzer grenadiers as well.
Predecessor died a hero. Standing by. Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
Quick airs minefield. Again. Making use of mines. Oh, there was still some then. Quickly took out several shot troopers. That was definitely a good investment right there for Miragefla, I believe. In particular, since very interesting enough, there's been absolutely no attempt at mine sweepers here from Vipuks. None at all. None at all. That Maxim still has seen no usage whatsoever. Looks like really no one likes it. Mine engagement up here, Panzers versus conscripts. Molotov doesn't do too much there. And the conscripts up close, they quickly lose out to the veteran Panzergrenadiere of the Großdeutschland. T-35 there versus the Panzergrenadiere, forcing them back. Sturmgeschütz rolling up. Panzer IV staying behind. The Stu does enjoy the longer ranges, will be able to get into the T-34 a bit more safely than the Panzer IV, with the field gun covering the T-34. Ooh, finally got some minesweepers up. Just took him how long? But better late than never, I suppose. And there you go, driving straight into the minefield. A bit of a risky thing. Oh, everything. But then again, what? Oh, that's some mortar rounds singing off. That could actually kill the engineers. Have to be a bit careful of that. Then again, it's the Germans shooting into it. Imagine they don't really care if the Soviet engineers die in their minefield. Yeah, Dieter, I don't think that's really any of our concern. You know, since we're trying to kill them. Ah, yeah, you're right, Vitor. Because they're close getting wiped out, the Panzer IV might be able to get them. There we go. Tot. Vipuks trying again with a rather brazen assault through the centre here. He's got the command point, he just needs the fuel to get there. Again, had he had a fuel cache, you know, he might already been able to get it now, or at least soon enough. But so far, it's still Miragefla with the armor advantage. Seems to be attacking from the northeast, trucks leading the way there. All victory points is that there's still a notable advantage to Vipuks in this fight. More trying to continue to track down in the Russian positions. Interesting enough, he's not trying to designate that the demo charge right next to the Panzer IV. Stuk, though, taking heavy fire there. Field guns managed to advance far enough to sort of do some nasty damage there. Stuk falling back. And there you go, we got the Pak 40 covering as usual. T-34 they're being rushed off the field, or at least off the front line. With more to that veteranly fleet, but close to total annihilation. Conscripts wiped out. In fact, there's very little infantry of Vipuks at the moment. And meanwhile, we got a large infantry force. We got these. Careful, 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 careful. Force it, force it. Quick line engagement here for the Maxim. Grenadiers look ready to flank. Marks your Rav grenade going off. There we go. And a bundle grenade as well. That could easily end up badly there for Vipuks Maxim crew. And that seems to have been the case. The mortar crew the game too as it shatters the Panzergrenadiere. But now, soon vengeance will be Vipuks. Soon.
Engineers ready for assignment.
Very soon. Stu, though, will need repairs now. Also, I'm not entirely sure I managed to get stuck in there.
Replacements have arrived. This is ours. We built it.
A bit of quiet here. Slowly getting up there for the IS-2. Seems to be what Vipuks is banking on at the moment. Mine's up, actually. Wonderful, wonderful. Wunderbar. And mid-game analysis. Current situation in terms of damage. Miragefla's ahead kill-wise is also, but he's really had some struggles there in terms of map control. I mean, Vipuks has sort of slackened out a bit there tactically, kept, you know, making sort of some rush assault here through the centre, where again a lot of the firepower was sort of prepared already. You know, he needs to be a bit careful with that. He needs to sort of change up his tactics. He needs to again sort of try and settle for outmaneuvering Miragefla and that way strike him instead of just trying to use brute force, because at this point, the way that Miragefla sort of adapted to it, it's not going to work out well with Panzers, MD42s and all the other things, including the mortar. Any sort of assault like that will very quickly get shot down, or at least blown to bits. So he needs to overall change things, and that's particularly once the IS-2 arrives, he needs to sort of try and outmaneuver, strike him here and then, sort of wipe out units that way, you know. Attack from here, for example, catch the Pack 40, or attack from the north. I mean, there's barely anything there. A good assault there could cut off the fuel, victory point, munitions, also do a lot of damage to Miragefla that way. I mean, I'm concerned he wants to keep some kind of force. Sure, he doesn't rush up here again, but still, he needs to try and attack elsewhere except where Miragefla is stronger, because that's currently what he's doing. And unless he's got overwhelmingly stronger force, that's not necessarily going to work out. At the very least, he needs to use his smoke barrage ability there from his mortar to sort of clear things up at the very least, so ensure he can't focus all of it down, but that's not happening either, so there are some problems there, I think, for Vipuks in this sort of current tactical measure. You should also consider fuel cache to sort of help with more armor in the longer run. As for Miragefla, I mean, he's doing alright at the moment. A fuel cache for him could also be good. I mean, he's got plenty of options. Making us Gundiggle might be a bit overkill now, but a command tank would be a good move, or for that matter, Howard to sort of bombard whatever support positions are left for Vipuks that can in fact do a lot of damage. I mean, that might be a consideration there for Vipuks to consider. And also, actually, Miragefla, but also Vipuks should lay down a lot more mines. I mean, all over the place. Mine it. Seriously. Otherwise, I mean, if he really wants to, I suppose he could also tech up. In fact, he has Gornets, in which case he should definitely consider actually going for a heavy Panzer Corps and then a Panther as soon as possible, in which case he could do with a fuel cache to sort of further play towards that. But back to the fighting here. Back to the fighting. Alright, we were actually watching Vipuks, silly me. And there you go. Nice two on the way. Maxim cleared out. He tried to recruit again. He does really have some bad time in then recruiting it. IS-2 rolling ahead. Field gun being sorted out quite lavishly. But again, we've got an IS-2. Can Vipuks get the most out? We got the Duska machine gun on the way as well. Shot fired and missed. God damn it, Dimitri. Second shot misses as well. Comrades, that is not the socialist way. At least the frontal armor is nicely bouncing off. Several shots there from the Pack 40. Mortars. Panzer 4. There you go, Panzer 4 down to half health, in fact, less than half health. Mortar round continues to whizzle all across. He still needs more infantry though. More infantry, comrade, but we got the IS-2 moving ahead here. T-34 tank from the north, there we go. Might get that Panzer 4, one more shot that actually hits and penetrates. There you go, Panzerkampfwagen 4 kaputt, IS-2 T-34 moving in, they might even get the Sturmgeschütz. With a bit of goodwill. There you go, Veterans 1, target weak point, we're working particularly with the Pack 40 then turning around, but no, Pack 40 is not coming in. In fact, we have seen Incendiary artillery going down in from Miragefla's strong point here. Scorching the MD42 and the Pack, not the Pack 40 crew again. Seems to be something with them in Incendiary barrages that sort of covers them. But the MD42 crew burned a horrible death. Meanwhile, though, the Panzers continue the assault here. When everything was occupied here, he deals with the support weapons. And we're seeing here, Vipuks is now more than ever short on infantry. He needs to replace those losses soon. He can't really keep up with this. That'll definitely end up giving Miragefla quite the considerable advantage with several Panzer Grenadiers. In particular, he seems to have nothing covering his mortars or anything else. In fact, he's just lost a field gun and a Maxim more. IS-2 and T-34 setting up in the north. They need repairs. In particular, that IS-2 is in dire need of them. Stu is on the prowl, in fact, closing on in on veterans too. That could be neat. Another Pack 40 there, and we do see the heavy panzer caught up. Mines there being dealt with. More conscripts are finally arriving. Another Maxim as well. Good, good. Vipuks doing what they can to replace those losses. Stu attacking. Oh dear, he should have shot after those users. He's got a tag weak put off on either way. Took a hit there from the IS-2. Stu has to get out of there and die horribly. Might in fact happen. Demo chart. And there we go. Stu got abandoned. And wrecked. So there we go. Miragefla is now down to no armor west. Now Vipuks is the one with the armor advantage, particularly with the IS-2 heavy tank. He's definitely going to be enjoying the advantage there, although looks like there's just been a huge fuel drop for Miragefla. I'm going to guess that might be a Panther. In which case, you should be have something there to threaten the IS-2 and the T-34. Though if Vipuks handle is correct, of course, you can still do quite a bit there to the Panther.
We have 200 points remaining.
Victory points still are equalising, and not in the favour of Vipuks, obviously. He needs to be a bit more aggressive with the IS-2. Needs to do as much damage as humanly possible. Missing again! Come on, Dimitri! Where did you learn to shoot? There we go. Half the Grenadier unit down. And there you go. Panzerkampfwagen 5 mobilised here for the Groß Deutschland. Rapidly rolling ahead. Not really doing much there versus the IS-2 though. So far anyways. The shock troopers need to consider vacating the premises. They're down to one man with a sliver of health. Both players having the exact same amount of points, giving them the exact same amount of fuel. So that's about to change there. And there we go. Grenadier unit wiped out. A heavy loss right there for Miragefla. Also, there's an MG-42 they could recruit. MG-42, go on lads. But no, he's going straight there for the Veteran 3 mortar. That's not a bad idea either though. But you should definitely grab that MG-42 and also that Maxim if you can. Now that it's, you know, not an immediate threat by the enemy. Got another field gun there for Vipuks, and we pop back here to Miragefla. The Panzer has now got upgrades there with the Panzerschrecks, the Raketenpanzerbüchse. There you go, Panther. There we go, Veteran 3 on the Pack 40, increasing its penetration. Panther heavily damaged, so is the IS-2 now. Less than a quarter of health, not good. Unless, of course, with the Germans, in which case it's pretty damn good. Nice bit of mortaring there. Bit of harassment going on. Conscripts are in a bit of trouble though versus these Pioneers, since the Pioneers are in a much better condition than full unit. We do see the attempt at a Molotov, but I don't really think it's going to work out here unless Miragefla is not paying attention whatsoever and keeps them remaining in the fire. But even then, the Conscripts could actually end up dying. Oh, there we go. Looks out. No! No, down to just a man with a minesweeper somehow. Then the Grenadiers to finish it off. Oh dear, that was damn close there for Vipuks, but his audacity cost him in the end. Panther's not receiving any repairs, whereas the IS-2 is receiving some. They're still going to take a bit of a while though before it's combat ready. At least he's using more than one engineer track to do the job, thus speeding up the process notably compared to Miragefla. He's only got one Pioneer, and in fact he should probably consider more to help speed up the repair of the Panther, because otherwise the IS-2 would be back on the field sooner than that. You can thus have a decisive advantage. Ooh, there we go, he might get the mortar crew, there we go, finally Miragefla's Veteran 3 Granatenwerfer crew has been sighted. There we go, Panther taking hits from the field gun to the rear. Very bad news there. That should certainly give the IS-2 even more chance for dominance here versus Miragefla. The only thing that's so far around then is the Pack 40s, including the Veterans 1, which might want to be in better position, but also the Panther goes there with the Panzer Schrecks. And then you got the IS-2 on a northbound assault, leaving broken bodies in his wake as he charges through the extremely thin northern German lines. Miragefla quick to get a Sturmgeschütz to support things. And there we go, the Panzer will continue doing their good job there. Falling upon an is secured and well, rather helpless field gun crew. Torch. That could have gone a bit better. And there go Panzer and Pack 45 there versus T-34. Looks like he does barely get away.
100 points remaining.
But point-wise, things are very much looking advantage of Vipuks there. Less than 100 for Miragefla now. And there you go, Panzer taking up position in the building. Ooh, quickly dodging out there. But then getting out in the open there, and the IS-2 just opens up. Pack 40 turns around, short shots, they'll bounce off. And an incendiary barrage on the building, so showing there'll be no followers the attempt on the IS-2. This looks like the Stug might be feeling a bit bold, and we also got the Panther soon ready, though it's only taking some time there. Veteran 3 Panther gets suppressed, Shock was quickly moving in there. Good, a quick grenade as well, and there we go. Miragefla was quick enough to pull out there, otherwise there could have been the loss of entire units, and so units suppressed do a lot less damage as the accuracy takes a huge hit. Building on fire, a raging inferno. Also note here, good prioritization by Vipuks. He actually aimed for the IS-2 first, since that's, well, more veteran, but also just more valuable. He might soon be able to get a second IS-2 though, which would definitely cause a problem here for Miragefla. Maxim flanking the grenades, well done there, well done. Good hit on the IS-2 from the Panther, with its high velocity 75mm gun.
We are losing a sector.
And there we go. Maxim down. Vipuks continues to have some rather catastrophic losses as the game progresses. He seems to have a slight knack for leaving his support teams so extended and unguarded. But there you go, a second IS-2 arrives here for Vipuks. That should give Miragefla a bit more of a challenge there, with a lot more heavy armour. And the house finally collapsed, burning. 61 points left here for Miragefla, and sending off rather broad strip of the minefield. There guys 2 moves forward and quickly decimates the Pioneers. Die Pioniere!
This is German territory.
And the Veteran 3 Panzer was leading a heroic assault straight into the IS-2's line of fire. The results, well, pretty obvious. Panther with Pack 40 support, they're firing on the IS-2. Field gun doing a trend on the German infantry. They've got Panther moving in. Field gun not shooting at that. Oh, close, not quite. Nice little bun grenade there. IS-2 moves south, and he's actually using its veterans' ability to take points. Amazing. So rare to see players actually use the secure mode on their armour. So that's actually quite nice to see in action. And now, of all things, Miragefla is actually getting a Panzerwerfer. Fancy that. Fancy that. But rather seems like, again, he's still focused on the centre. He's not focused on trying to make a breakthrough in the north and again wipe out some units there, attack from the south also. Ooh, a fuel cache there of all positions. Looks like a Panzer was actually dropped there for the shock troopers. Noting, by the way, mechanized has been chosen. We do see a few spotting scopes up here and there. And we could see the IS-2 go down there. No, no, might get away, not get away.
Rocket vehicle has arrived.
Rather close though. The other one could move up and actually attack from here. So there you go. Panzerwerfer. And clearing out the enemy field gun. Gutes Arbeit. IS-2 there threatening a bit from the south, closing in on Veterancy 2. That would definitely cause more problems from an increased range there. And they're going to Indy going down the Pack 40. On to get T-34 joining in. He's really intent on getting that Veteran 3 Pack 40. I mean, I can understand that Veteran 3 Pack 40 is an absolute menace with a high rate of fire and high penetration as well. There you go, firing back on the IS-2. Not a shot there, managing to penetrate though. Riot grenades and incendiary bombs in northern MD42. And now they attempted barraging it, then cancelling it. Oh dear. Bit of a waste of munitions there then. Oh, and it gets away. That looks like Miragefla realised what's going on and pulled it back for reinforcement and healing before it was too late. With the larger force paying up north as well. More to not recruit. Camouflaging the field gun. No, you can't exactly hide from the Panzerwerfer rockets, so that did not amount to much in the end. Victory point wise though, he's down to 11 points. We're seeing a bunker going up to cover the northern victory point. Miragefla is definitely getting a bit edgy here. Over to Vipuks again. I mean, essentially, watch the leave a force down here, then attack fully from the north and then sort of hold there. He could probably drain Miragefla his remaining Factor Aumentus line of fire rather than kind of what he's doing, which is basically just bashing his head into one, sort of hoping to break through Miragefla's lines that way. Let's say close 6. Well, annihilation. Looks like he actually managed to get behind the bunker here. Bad news for Miragefla. He needs to quickly move out of force. We do see a command tank now arriving. A Befehlspanzer. Crew shocked. Crew shocked. Shockingly. T-34 could maybe try and flank it or ram it. I don't know. Panzer's there on a rampage. 38 kills. Geballte Ladung there on the conscripts. Panther 4 command tank joining alongside the Sturmgeschütz. Full retreat there from Vipuks. Outside disarray. And assault going here for the centre back 40 firing. Veteran run over back 40. Looks like the T-34 might escape. More engineers on the way. Securing the centres. I think it was MD42. Another Panzerwerfer barrage, which wipes out another crew. Needs a bit more mindful of that thing. Sturm main gun destroyed. 9 Dieter. 9. Ah, scheiße. Always there a good Sturm. But there you go. IS-2 commander heavy fire there from several sides. Panther, Pack, and the command tank forcing IS-2 back there with the slow help. There you go. The Panther setting in for the pursuit. Other IS-2 needs to move in. But it's not, it's still being repaired because there's only one unit repairing it. He could ram it, he could ram it! Oh, too close there. And there you go, Panther got the IS-2. Should have waited there so he could ram it. That might have been able to stop the Panther actually. At least give the IS-2 enough time to arrive. Oh, the IS-2 missed by quite the margin. What are you doing, Dimitri? And there you go, Veterancy 2, Veterancy 2. Increased range. Increased accuracy. He's moving straight into the line of fire of the Pack 40. Another barrage there, but no, stopping up bad. And there you go, the IS-2 went down.
We are suffering vehicle losses.
Down to 4 command points, so it looks like him and Miragefla will win this. He's just wrecked most of his opponent's armor. Both IS-2s went down in flames. Command tank now about to go up in flames as well here from T-34. Panther and desperate need to repair his equipment, moving into tank support, and there you go. Panther is flanking with Panzerschrecks. Catching anything of a surprise, about landing on the Maxim. And looks like he's setting up for a third IS-2. But looks like in the end he gave up here a loss to the Soviet Union, a victory here for Germany, albeit rather seriously close there for Miragefla. I mean, the way that Vipuks played early on sort of gave him a few surprises. Occasionally he makes some really good assaults. The problem was that after that, Vipuks in a subtle way seemed to get lazy. He just sort of tried to resort to extremely brute force, which Miragefla was quite competently prepared for and just tore apart his units, causing huge casualties to Vipuks that way, ultimately negating all of the gains that Vipuks had previously made. In fact, making things easier for Miragefla. So, I mean, in that regard, he made some mistakes. Even when he had 2 IS-2s, he launched his sword just to sort of try and bash through here instead of trying to maneuver, catching a lot of units here, you know, on the side, knocking them out there, away from the Pak-40s as well. So, I mean, there were some massive problems. Had he done that, he probably could have won that. But instead, you know, he very much resorted just sort of head-on bashing and, in particular in the last desperate moments, just sacrificing units to the Panzerwerfer. Though, of course, I mean, that also indicates there were some issues for Miragefla as well. I mean, the way he played also left him open. He could maybe have done with a few more mines here and there, and maybe some telemines sort of cover the northern roads might have benefited him a bit as well. I mean, that is something he might want to sort of consider. He might also want to use a target weak point on his Pak-40, but also his Stug. There were some slight problems there, if you will. So, I mean, it wasn't exactly like Miragefla was playing perfectly, otherwise he wouldn't be winning with that kind of margin, that's for sure. I mean, doctrinally, he probably could have done a bit more, and maybe gotten a howitzer up, or, you know, use something, or maybe you should have gone for an entirely different doctrine. Overall there, things were very much lacking. It was only a command tank and spotting scopes, and then he got, that was where there definitely could have been some improvement from Miragefla. But overall, an interesting fight there, very close fight. A very desperate fight at some points, and we saw also bits, you know, things we rarely see, including a Panzerwerfer and a 1 versus 1. So, there you go. I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, why not subscribe, tell your friends, share it with everyone. If not, you know, send in a replay and write some feedback in the comments. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers, and thank you all for watching, and see you tomorrow. Bye.